What is up, Pete Sweeney here with your Emerald Coast Relocation experts. We're gonna get a little deep in this video where I'm gonna share my personal story, my family's personal story as to why we chose Gulf Breeze, Florida. Let's go. I'm going to lay out 10 reasons why we decided to call Gulf Breeze our home. First one's being the schools. And before I get even deeper into this, let me kind of share a little story with you. So this dated all the way back to 2020, right? The lockdowns are happening, all the masking and all this stuff. In the state that we were currently in, we just weren't really liking what we were seeing. So at that time, we were kind of thinking, you know what, maybe it's time to go elsewhere, which is hard for me because me personally, I was a 5th generation native of the state, right? I did not want to go. My entire family was there, but it was getting to a point where we just felt like we didn't fit in anymore. And it felt like our values were being diminished by everyone else that was around us. And so at that point, that's when we really started looking elsewhere, figuring out where else can we go. And at that time, we were looking into Florida. The only thing that we really knew was Tampa Bay area and more so the Clearwater area. So we kind of checked out the Clearwater area, ended up finding a property that we really liked, but it turned out to be in a great short-term rental property. So it was kind of our thing where it's like, all right, we have this property here. Here is our pass if we ever do decide to move to Florida. But here's the biggest thing with it is once we started diving into the schools, because we paid for private schools in Colorado, we did not like doing that, the expense of it. And when we were looking in Clearwater, that whole area, we just couldn't find the schools that seemed like they fit for our kids. The schools weren't as good as we would have liked them to be. And also we asked ourselves, is this really a good family area? The Clearwater area is a huge tourist attraction. Is that really what we wanted to do in regards to raising our kids? So we continued looking. We looked, we're talking Orlando, Hollywood. We kind of looked all around Florida. We couldn't really figure out where we wanted to land if we decided to make the move into Florida. And so fast forward, we kind of looked into Pensacola. I heard about Pensacola and all this stuff, and I'm like, you know what, Pensacola, it's pretty much where my parents always talked about vacationing. It's not the hot spot anymore. It's not really where people want to go. Is it really a thing? And then we visited Pensacola and we fell in love. And then outside of that, we were looking in Pensacola. One of the experts that's actually on our team right now, one of our relocation experts, told us about Gulf Breeze. And we're like, well, what the heck is Gulf Breeze? And he mentioned how, you have Pensacola, and you have Pensacola Beach. Gulf Breeze is right in the middle of it. It's a little bit different. It's super family friendly. It's super community. And so we decided to look into it a little bit more and more. So at that time, we decided to buy investment property in Gulf Breeze. And while we were converting it over into a short-term rental, we realized how much we loved Gulf Breeze and how much we wanted to be a part of it. And so from then on, that's when we really kind of started talking about what would this look like if we decided to make this move into Gulf Breeze. The schools in Gulf Breeze are freaking amazing. And even more so, they're public schools. We don't have to pay for that private school. We could put our kids into the public school and not have to worry about it. And so that was a huge determining factor as to what it made us choose Gulf Breeze. Now, if you've watched any of my other Gulf Breeze videos, what we talk about is pretty much you have a West Gulf Breeze and you have an East Gulf Breeze. So the west side of Gulf Breeze is like your Gulf Breeze proper. The east side of Gulf Breeze is something more like an unincorporated Gulf Breeze. And that's what we really enjoyed, where we really wanted to raise our kids because it was outside of the city a little bit. It was a little bit more of that small town, which was hard for me to do because I grew up in Denver where, listen, I liked big city. There was something about the ruckus and all the chaos that personally I liked. It was my subconscious that really was attracted to that. So moving into more of a small town is rubbed me in different ways. I didn't know really what to expect, but I really did fall in love with it. I fell in love with everything about Gulf Breeze. So let's go and dive into the second reason why we decided to move to Gulf Breeze. And it's probably one of the most obvious, and that is the beach, right? The beach, the ocean. My wife, even though, we are Colorado natives, she always tells me how she feels like she was born to live by the ocean. And so we went to the beach, and the beaches in Pensacola Beach are amazing. We're literally a quick 10-minute drive all the way up into them from Gulf Breeze. And so we fell in love right away. We're like, you know what, these beaches are better than the beaches that we have down in Clearwater. We could take our kids here anytime we want. Our kids enjoyed it. Every time that we came out to visit, our kids could not get enough of all the beaches that we have here near Gulf Breeze. And so that was another big determining factor. Hey, we're not doing the daily lifestyle thing. We could always pop down to the beach and do that beach lifestyle. The third reason why we decided to move into Gulf Breeze is the people. The people here are fantastic, amazing, super social, and they look up and actually say hi, which is not what we're used to. I was just random story. I was at Lowe's just buying stuff, and I could not believe the workers actually said hi to me. Where back where I was from, everyone pretty much puts their head down and you don't get service or you don't get talked to unless you need something. And then you're like pulling your hair just to get someone to help you. Where here it was completely different. Another thing that I noticed too is the teenagers here in Gulf Breeze were super friendly. They were saying hi to my kids, actually interacting with them, which is something that we really never experienced. The neighbors are amazing. When we first bought our investment property here in Gulf Breeze, everyone came over to say hey, and then they were let down when we told them that, you know what, this is just a short-term rental. We don't plan on living here permanently, and that was at that time. And then finally we realized how much we loved it, how much we loved the people, and we decided to call it our home. The fourth reason why we decided to choose Gulf Breeze is the warm weather. Okay, so there's two different parts to this, because I mean, back in Colorado, you know, it gets cold and it feels like there's a season of depression, right? In the wintertime, everyone's cold, everyone's in their houses, no one's doing anything outside, and so you do get a little depressed. And so once we kind of experienced Gulf Breeze, Pensacola a little bit, we realized, you know what, they have, you know, technically 3 seasons here. They do have a true spring, summer, and fall. Whereas South Florida, when we were down in Clearwater, it's pretty much summer and mild summer. And so the fact that we were able to have warmer weather here without experiencing that depression of the wintertime that we used to experience back in our hometown, that was super appealing to us. It's like, hey, even in the wintertime, even in those December, November months, we could go outside and play. We could be outside. We could be in the sunshine. I'm not saying that we're going to be getting into the water or anything like that. Actually, don't hold me to that, because I'm pretty sure that we were still getting in the water in November. If you're from Colorado, where you have somewhere that's super cold, and you come somewhere like this, even though it's 60 degrees out, that water still feels pretty damn warm to us. The fifth reason why we decided Gulf Breeze, and like I said, this was a little bit of a struggle for me, but getting away from the big city. There is some great things in regards to the amenities, all the attractions that you have of a big city, but we just didn't want that anymore. We were like, what is it about? Is it about us and us wanting the appeal of all those attractions, all the awesome things that you do? Or do we want a great place to raise our kids? And you cannot do that better than somewhere in Gulf Breeze where it's super family friendly. And you cannot do that anywhere better than Gulf Breeze where it is super community. It is insane how much that small town feel really brings you in, really kind of attaches to you and makes you want to be a part of it. The sixth reason why we decided to move into Gulf Breeze, and the portion of Gulf Breeze that we're in, is the fact that it's a golf cart community. And I know when I mention that, there's a certain thing that comes to mind where it's like, hey, you know, you're a part of a country club, you know, you're sitting there and you're playing golf all day, every day. And that's not necessarily what we're talking about when we talk about this. We're talking about the fact that all these homeowners, even though they might not golf, they all have golf carts where they're bringing their kids to school in golf carts, where they're going to the grocery store or Home Depot or all the different restaurants in their golf carts. And that to me was freaking awesome. The fact that I could hop in my golf cart and just wing it right over to wherever the heck we wanted to go. That golf cart community really appealed to me, and it might appeal to you as well too, if that's something that you might want to do. The seventh reason why I hit on this, and I actually already hit on this when we're talking about the warmer weather, is the fact that they do actually have seasons here in Gulf Breeze. We can experience those colder months, you know, where it's not super cold, frigid cold, but we can still have those down months where it's like, hey, you know what, let's get a break from this intense sun that we're experiencing summertime, and we can still have those cooler months. I like the changes, right? I like it to where it's not constantly one way or another. I like it to be able to experience different times in the seasons, different temperatures. I really enjoy that. And so the fact that Gulf Breeze really offered that as opposed to more your South Florida, that is something that really attracted us to Gulf Breeze. Before I continue on, guys, I'm hoping you're enjoying this content. If you are enjoying this content, do us a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, little notification bell, that way you're notified every single time that we put out a brand new video. We made this channel for you because we are in your position that you're probably sitting in right now, trying to figure out what you're going to do in this move, who you're going to talk to, who actually knows what the heck they're talking about. And that's why we put together one of the top-notch teams of experts to help anyone who's relocating into this area. Also, guys, if you are planning on purchasing real estate here in the state of Florida, more specifically the Emerald Coast, give us a call, text on the phone number right below. We're going to answer. It doesn't matter date or time. Throw us an email if you really don't want to give us a call. We can hop on Zoom. We're not going to spam you, nothing like that. It's more so just to help you in the best way possible with your transition into this beautiful state. The eighth reason why we decided to move into Gulf Breeze, and this one might be a little bit controversial depending on what your beliefs are, is they had similar beliefs to us. Like I already mentioned, where we were at, it just felt like we didn't fit anymore. You know, we had a certain set of beliefs that people just didn't seem like it was lining up with ours. I know growing up in Colorado, it did more so, but as Colorado and Denver started to grow, we started getting a lot more people, you know, from California, from the East Coast, who were all moving to Colorado, and those beliefs, everything kind of started to change a little bit, and we just felt like we really didn't fit in anymore. So as we came to Gulf Breeze, we're like, wow, a lot of these people hold the same exact beliefs that we do, and you know, it's pretty cool that we get to hang out and not really watch what words we're saying to trigger someone or anything like that. And so being in Gulf Breeze, we were able to align ourselves with a lot more people who believe in the same stuff that that we believed in. The 9th reason why we decided to move into Gulf Breeze is the fact that it's family oriented. Already hit on this a little bit, but it is super family oriented. We actually, when we first got here, we went and had dinner over at the Point with one of our team leads on the Emerald Coast Relocation Team, and it was just amazing. The kids were out playing on the golf course, having fun, and there was kids everywhere. And it blew my mind. I was like, holy crap, look at all these kids. They could all hang out. They could just go and roam and breathe free, not really have to worry about anything. We could sit up here and have dinner and just watch them. And so the fact that it's so family oriented, the fact that the family is valued so much here, that really meant a lot to us. And that's another reason why we decided to call Gulf Breeze our home. The 10th and final reason why we decided to move into Gulf Breeze is the fact that it still has some distance from the tourism. Most of that tourism that you're seeing is in Pensacola, or more so, Pensacola Beach. We get to be in the midway, right? Where we're not too close to it, but we can still go and enjoy it whenever we want to. And so the fact that we can do that is amazing for us. We can still take advantage of all the attractions, all the stuff that happens at the beach, but still get away from it and raise our family the way we wanted to do those daily activities. So that was huge for us. We didn't want to be in the scene of all the tourism, being away from it a little bit, but still close enough so that we could enjoy it whenever we'd like. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, this is our personal story, why we decided to call Gulf Breeze our home. If you feel like this content provided value for you, do us a quick favor, guys. Hit that subscribe button, thumbs up, notification bell. That way you're notified every single time that we put out a brand new video. And of course, I'm going to throw that phone number below one more time. Give us a call or text if you are planning on relocating into the Emerald Coast. And until next time, love ya.